Hi, I'm Mrs. Donnelly and thank you for considering economics, and I'm glad to tell you a bit more about our subject. There are 3 teachers here at William Humes for economics: myself, and I'm an examiner for AQA, Mr. Haji Pavlu, who's an examiner for AQA and also doing a Masters in economics, and Mrs. Oldfield, who has taught economics for many years, so you have a very experienced team. We teach the AQA spec at A level, and that splits into 2 main sections. So we have microeconomics and macroeconomics. In microeconomics, we look at how markets operate, so demand and supply within those markets. Why is price set at a certain level? How does that happen? And why do suppliers supply the amount that they want to supply? So in this sense, we're looking at how markets ration scarce goods and resources. So this helps us look at problems in those markets. So for example, in Manchester, we know rents are higher than the national average because there's a shortage of housing. So microeconomics helps us look at problems such as this and look at ways that government could intervene to regulate those markets. So things like in the healthcare market, we know there's a shortage of beds. How would we resolve that? What are the trade-offs? So that's microeconomics. And then again, we're also looking at why consumers make the decisions that they do. Macroeconomics then looks at big economics. So micro looks at individual markets, macro starts to look at how all those markets operate together on a national or an international level. So within macroeconomics, we start to look at total demand and total supply in an economy and what affects it. So we start to understand why there's an unemployment or supply shortages. And we look at policies to manage the economy. So you start to look at why government sets certain rates of tax, why it spends, what the trade-off is between that taxation and that spending. And we also start to look at things like interest rates and how we control the spending of consumers within the economy. So in essence, what we look at Year 12 is the basics, understanding the basic models. And that gives us the toolkit to really dig into some real world issues in Year 13. So the problems we get in Year 13 are more complicated, and we start to make decisions. So we start to look at things like Brexit and understand what the economic impact of it is. Also development economics. If you want to raise people out of poverty, what are the best ways to do it? What does the evidence tell us? Economics is a science, and it's all about understanding the world around us and using data to really understand the problems and suggest solutions. My favourite part of the course is development economics, and this looks at what happens around the world through globalisation and those links between economies. And that ties in with my role at Chester Zoo as a trustee, where I'm heavily involved in conservation economics, and we look at things like sustainable livelihoods and wildlife trade and human-wildlife conflict, which all have their roots in economics. So understanding economics really does help you see the world differently. And we have a lot of success for our students. And we've got a number of students at this moment in time who've gone on to London School of Economics or Warwick and some of the top universities to study economics. And we're really proud of them. And I hope that you will consider economics in the future, and I look forward to seeing you in the future.